Good evening, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 341 of the podcast. How is everybody Thursday night doing? You're probably wondering what the hell am I doing on a Thursday night? Last week I said, oh, okay, I'm going to be back to my regular scheduling programming and whatnot, but something came up in a family sense, and right now I don't want to get into it, but it's a good thing. Everything is a good thing. So when everything is finished, I will let you know what happened and everything. But it's a family thing, and it's basically honoring my mother. So I have to do that tomorrow. So I won't be able to even fit this in because I have to be, you know, there by like 5. So there is like no way in hell that I'm going to be able to do this, get dressed, go take a shower, get dressed, get all gussied up, and be able to be where I need to be. So unfortunately I have to do this. So but it is what it is. So, I got it. I get it in as much as I can, and I, make sure my nose is about to sneeze. I just did something to my
Oh my God, I am so sorry. And then you're probably wondering, wow, I have really good light now, right? Well, I got my apartment painted, so you know, ta-da! So you're gonna see a little bit better of me and whatnot. So let's get this party started. I also want to say thank you to all the happy Mother's Days and the happy birthdays I had last week. I celebrated my 42nd birthday last Friday. Don't remember too much of it, but I had a really good time and I spent it with somebody that I really love and care about. It's weird, it really is weird, to be in a relationship and be able to be with that person on one of your most like really important days of your life, which is your birthday. And let me tell you, he treated me like a queen. He treated me like a queen. Oh my God. He served me coffee in bed. He basically he if I didn't want to get up and get anything, like if I wanted to get something to drink or I wanted to get something for a snack or I wanted to just basically just not I'm too lazy to get up, basically. I was treated like a queen that day and it was great. And I had an amazing birthday and he also did that for me on Sunday for my Mother's Day. I am a mom of 18 years and so he made sure that I was taken good care of, and it was nice on a Mother's Day morning having coffee in bed and not having to get up and get it yourself. So it was really, really nice. And it made me falling in love. So, you know, I'm pretty excited about this whole situation. And oh my God, it's my menopause. Sorry, my face is starting to flush here. But I'm really happy, and that's the whole thing in a nutshell. And it makes me on my game on this even better. Now, I want to make sure that you are aware of this. I have my windows need to be replaced. So right now I have half a window. So if the fire bell goes off, I may need to possibly mute this. And if I can, yes, I can mute it. Wonderful. Wonderful. So I will do that so to save your ears. So if you're gonna hear like at least a good 5 minute chunk of this, so just go 5 minutes ahead when I give you with the signal, which is I'm doing this, and that'll be the signal for the fire alarm. I have incredibly good news. I am still uh, you know, dealing with some of my weight issues. And today was one of the things that I was so fucking. I had to go for my mammogram. I have to go to a mammogram because I'm 42 years old. Oh, yeah. I just can't believe I said that again. And everything was going well. I got a clean bill of health, no cancer, thank Christ. But I'm still in remission and everything like that, so I don't have to worry about that. But something was better than getting that news. I went to go. They brought me back out of the waiting room. So I'm going into the waiting. I'm going into the prep room where they give you the gown and the robe, the whole giddy up. If you're a lady, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I go into the changing area. They hand me a gown. I'm like, I'm too fat for this. This is not going to fit me. This is totally not going to fit me. So I go and open it up. I give it a try. I give it the old college try. And I put it on. They gave me a standard fucking gown. And I was able to fit into it. I'm sitting there on the bench in my robe, and I kid you not, I was crying, tears of joy. The nurse came in and they said, "Are you okay? Did you get bad news?" And I said, "No, when you gave me the gown, I was able to fit into a standard gown. Do you understand? I was able to sit not with this big parachute anymore. I was able to sit amongst other women and I felt normal. Didn't feel like I was like grotesque and obese. And I'm just so proud of myself that this is the definite motivation. If you want to lose weight, kick a habit or whatnot, guys, ladies, everything, do it. Get through this. You could do it. I did it. I lost a ton of weight. I'm losing even more. And I'm not going to stop. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I want to look good. I want to look good when I turn 50. This is my transformation decade. I'm going to do transformation times 1,000. You're going to see it. I'm going to do some vlogs and everything like that and do some shorts and stuff like that to tell you how much I've shrunk. I mean, if you were to know how much I shrunk, you would be totally blown away. Look, my face is getting thinner. You go back like a year, I am puffy. Now, like, look at my hands. My hands are like not as pudgy as they used to be. My rings are so loose now. Look, they're so loose. And that is what is it all about. And for me to sit here and be so thrilled about this whole situation, it's great. And this is all for me. This is all for my future. This is all for my happiness. This is all for my son. If he sees me being healthy and vibrant and whatnot, we're gonna be unstoppable. We're gonna be unstoppable. So that's some good news. All right, that is some good news. So hopefully everybody did have a great Mother's Day. To all the moms, stepmoms, foster moms, moms that are pseudo moms, bonus moms, whatever. You're a mom. I am sorry about the pet parents out there because you're not pet parents. You're our owners. Cut the shit, all right? Please cut the shit. You're owners. You're not pet parents. And for the person who fucking coined that phrase is fucking delusional. All right? You can leave your pets at home. You can't leave your children at home. You could go out to the grocery store and leave a 9-month-old kitten at home. You can't leave a 9-month-old baby at home. There's the difference, okay? And for the people who take their pets everywhere, they're pets. They're not fucking, they're part of the family, but they're not human beings. Okay? So for the people who have just pets, sorry, you're not going to get a happy Mother's Day or happy Father's Day. Your day is April Fool's Day. Okay? Let's move on. And I'm even including parents that are adopted parents and parents that are same sex couples. All right? Those are parents because they have to take the child with them. Okay? So you don't think I'm going to be homophobic or anything like that. I include them. For instance, my sister is married to a woman. When she has a child or if she has a child, that's going to be my niece or nephew. So don't get me started. And I will be acknowledging her on Mother's Day as well as my sister-in-law. Okay? Let's just move on because let me tell you something. I'm not going to get into this because let me tell you something. I will annihilate people on this. All right? around far too long in this earth to fucking goddamn get taken down because of this. Because I want to let you know, people, I'm bisexual, so you can't fucking say I'm homophobic. Try another narrative, people. All right? Try another narrative. All right. I got to clean my glasses. I can't see. It's Schmutzville. All right. Mel's Mat Chat. Here we promote things and whatnot. So you know what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be promoting my social media, the channel, and people who I support and use products. And I'm trying to see if I can. I'm trying to reach out to another product that I use tremendously, and I love every fucking minute of it. I'm trying to reach out to them so I can promote. They don't pay me, but I do want to promote it, and I use it, and I want to share the news of what I use. But anyway, please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Maestro Classics, maestroclassics.com, and visit their website for all your beard essentials. Graduation, communion. Some kids have beards at communions. Okay, I'm sorry. Confirmations, graduations, bat and bar mitzvahs, whomever, something's coming up and somebody has a beard, right? Either it's your partner, your parental person, meaning your father, or even your mother. Anybody who has a beard in your family or your friends, do yourself a favor. Go check out Maestro Classics. They have some really good products. They have really good merchandise, and they have great staff there. They're doing amazing things for the community. So I had to hook up and I had to check them out. And you know what? I'm very, very hooked. So go check them out, maestroclassics.com. If you want to murder your thirst and you want to stock up on the artillery for murdering your thirst, please do yourself a favor. Go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Visit their website for all your artillery. You can get regular spring water, sparkling water, flavored sparkling water, iced tea, and sports packs, meaning that you can take these packs and put them into any drink and you make a sports drink out of it. And you can get righteous merchandise as well. So go to liquiddeath.com. If you are a coffee aficionado like myself, please do yourself a favor and go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Visit their website for all your coffee essentials. And please, you could also check out the world's strongest coffee with the lowest acidic rate. You got flavors galore. You got now options galore for coffee. You got the regular drip. You got the K-Cups. And now I believe they have an espresso. So go check it out at deathwishcoffee.com. Now, House of Glory is doing some big motherfucking things, and I am so excited for them, and I've been following them as best as I possibly can because of my schedule and everything like that. Sometimes I don't get a chance to watch it, but I do watch it later on in the week when I have nothing else better to do. But on May 24th, The War Within. Ken Broadway challenges AJ Francis, formerly known as Top Dollar, to a 3-on-3 match. We don't know the people, but we know that Ken Broadway and AJ Francis will be in action. Also on the card, House of Glory World Championship match, Matt Riddle versus Mike Santana. Gringo Loco will be in action, as well as Amazing Red. And it was just signed recently, Sexy Star and Rihanna Dorada versus Violet and Diamond. So go get your tickets at hogwrestling.net, and you can watch it on Thriller, formerly known as Fight. Also on the next day, I don't know if this is going to be on Thriller TV, but I will keep you abreast of the situation. But on Saturday, May 25th, they had the war within. Now we have the glory of war in Boston. El Helio Vikingo was supposed to be there, but due to injury, he will no longer be there. So Mustafa Ali versus Alec Price, sorry. Mike Santana will be in action. Sammy Callahan versus Charles Mason, and JT Dunn will be in action. And on on June 8th, Puerto Rican Puerto Rican Day weekend, the Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend, and everything that's going to go with it. We're going to have a little party, a little siesta with Mike Santana Puerto Rican weekend. And you know me, if you know, I'm Puerto Rican, as you could well tell. My grandmother is from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I'm beyond proud to be Puerto Rican. And this stuff makes me proud, and it gives me the being prideful to claim and to be having Puerto Rican heritage. It warms my heart, and the food, the atmosphere is just electric, and it kind of makes me kind of homesick. I've never been to Puerto Rico, but it makes me kind of homesick because I have plenty of family over there, mi familia. And when they went down to Puerto Rico for backlash, seeing my homeland, seeing my family, where my family is right now, is just it I get very emotional. I get very emotional when it comes to my heritages. When it's got to do with Italian, German, or even Irish, I'm very, very, very prideful of my heritages and my nationalities and all that stuff. So when I heard about this, I said, I'm in. I'm all in, and I cannot wait. And then I'm hoping to God this is going to be on Thriller, because to be in that, I would actually venture to go into the city and go see that if I can, but it's probably not going to happen because June is going to be a really crazy month for me. So I'm probably not going to be able to get to go in there. So that's why I'm hoping that it's going to be on Thriller TV. But nonetheless, please, if you want to keep up to date on everything that's House of Glory, please go check them out on their social media apps and bookmark hogwrestling.net. All right. We are now on the cusp of the King and Queen of the Ring and Double or Nothing. That is next weekend. So next weekend's festivities are going to be as followed. I'm going to be on at sometime, hopefully early in the morning on Thursday. All right, early in the morning or early in the afternoon. Okay. Then after Friday Night SmackDown, I'm going live with my preview and predictions for King and Queen of the Ring. Right after King and Queen of the Ring, I'm going live with my review. All right, that's taken care of. First thing in the morning on Sunday morning, I'm going live with my preview and predictions of Double or Nothing. And then Monday morning, I'm sorry, people, but I'm going to do my review at some point on Monday. All right? You know Tony. Tony is not going to get us out of there until a little after midnight, just to fuck with us. So it is what it is. But please also do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video, or do a short, you will know about it. Please also follow me on all my social media apps: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, X, Twitter, and TikTok. I am back on Snapchat. Please follow me there at Real Mel's Mat Chat. And there you go. So we're going to go through, since we are going to do another WWE pay-per-view, we're going to get Monday Night Raw and SmackDown out of the way. Then we're going to concentrate on AEW. So next week, it's going to be crazy. There might even be a fucking preview, a show. unless there's huge news or it's something that I got to cover or something like that. So if that's the case, I will. If that's the case, if that doesn't happen, stay tuned to my Twitter, X, whatever it is, and you will know all too well if I'm doing an episode 342. Because at this point, there's gonna be probably no need. Hold on. And if I do another one, if I do another a podcast next week, and I can get it in earlier, I will. So just bear with me. I need to know what's going on, and I need to place everything because if it's the way I think it is, I could possibly do it Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I'll have that stretch, and then I could go into SmackDown and do the preview and predictions, and then I could do preview and predictions on Sunday, and we are good to go. So let's go to last week's SmackDown so I can get you ready for tomorrow night, because tomorrow night is the second to last SmackDown before we go to King and Queen of the Ring. So SmackDown lineup. WWE King of the Ring tournament first round matches. The Bloodline, MTF Tama Tonga versus the Pride's Angelo Dawkins. He took the place of Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley is hurt. King of the Ring tournament first round match. The Viper Randy Orton versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. The King of the Ring tournament first round match. Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin. The Queen of the Ring tournament first round. The EST of WWE, Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. We also have another one, Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. And we had Nia Jax versus Naomi. And last week, I legitimately watched this like yesterday. Seriously. Due to the fact is it was my birthday and I don't remember anything I watched. So the show opens up with a video recapping this past weekend's Backlash France premium live event. Corey Graves and Wade Barrett then welcome us to the show, and Graves runs down the brackets for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. Graves then sends it to SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, who is already in the ring. Aldis welcomes the fans to the show, and he introduces the undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. Rhodes makes his way down to the ring. Aldis starts off by congratulating Rhodes on successfully retaining his undisputed WWE Championship against AJ Styles at Backlash. Then says they must now turn their attention to the King and Queen of the Ring. Aldis then says he knows Rhodes wants to be a fighting champion and defend his title against the best. Aldis then says he invited Rhodes to the ring to reveal who his next challenger will be. Gee, I wonder how this is going to work out. WWE United States Champion Logan Paul comes down to the ring. Rhodes says he thought he knew that Paul wanted to talk about. Paul says the Logan Paul Levesque era will officially kick off when he and Rhodes face off at the main event of the King and Queen of the Ring in a champion versus champion match. Rhodes then says he likes the idea of champion versus champion match, but Paul cuts Rhodes off and says facts don't lie. Paul then says his reign as the United States champion is the longest championship reign of all time. Paul also says he is the WWE's greatest attraction. Paul then says he had the greatest rookie year of all time. He is a superstar. Paul then says Rhodes may have won the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble, but all anyone remembers him and Ricochet colliding with one another off the top rope. True. No lies indicated. Paul then continues talking about being the topic of all conversations. Paul then says he is the rocket fuel for this spaceship of WWE. Paul then asks how Rhodes can finish the story when it's not even his story. Paul then says he wants to talk to Rhodes about knocking him out, pinning him on his Prime Energy drink logo, and walking out of King of the Ring as the undisputed WWE champion. Rhodes then says a lot of people standing across from Paul assumes he's a dumbass. Rhodes then says he won't call Paul a podcaster, YouTuber, influencer, or outsider. Rhodes then he has gotten a sense of Paul is who Paul is and lists off a few of Paul's accomplishments. Rhodes then says he will be WWE Grand Slam champion if he wins the United States champion from Paul. Rhodes then says Paul is delusional and self-centered. Rhodes then says Paul can't make it through a match without using brass knuckles, and Paul will find out where he stands at the King and Queen of the Ring. Both men hold up their titles and stare each other down. We then head to the back where the phenomenal AJ Styles is being interviewed. Styles says he had Cody beat at Backlash, but he was distracted. Styles then says it should be himself versus Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia. Styles then says the next time he meets Cody, he will defeat him. Styles then says winning the King of the Ring tournament will be a right step in that direction. We go to the first round match in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and it's Nia Jax versus Naomi. The match starts off with Jax and Naomi exchanging shots at each other. Jax runs over Naomi and sends her head crashing into the mat. Jax then hits a splash on Naomi in the corner. Jax then tosses Naomi across the ring and hits her with a second splash in the opposite corner. Jax then hits Naomi with an elbow drop and a kick on her spine. Naomi then sends Jax crashing into the middle turnbuckle and follows it up with a kick on Jax's thigh. Naomi then sends Jax crashing into the ring post shoulder first, then flies off the rope and lands on Jax on the outside. Naomi then delivers some strikes on Jax, but Jax responds with a Samoan drop. Naomi then delivers some forearms on Jax. Jax nails Naomi with a couple of headbutts on the apron that sends Naomi crashing to the outside. Naomi then hits Jax with a jawbreaker using a top rope, then goes for a sunset flip, but Jax blocks her. Jax then goes for a senton, but Naomi moves out of the way. Naomi then delivers a forearm on Jax, then follows up with a back elbow and a springboard enziguri. Naomi then hits Jax with a kick to the head from the apron. Naomi then sends Jax's face bouncing off the middle rope and then follows up with a split-legged moonsault. Naomi then goes for a pin, but Jax kicks out. Naomi then hits Jax with a forearm in the corner and puts her on the top rope and then joins Jax up there. Jax then hits Naomi with a couple of headbutts, then goes for a powerbomb from the middle rope. Naomi counters into a Hurricane Rana and goes for a pin, but Jax kicks out. Naomi then nails Jax with a couple of super kicks and looks for a third kick, but Jax counters into a powerbomb and leg drop. Jax then hits Naomi with an Annihilator for the win, and she moves on in the tournament. We head to the back where Byron Saxton interviewed Baron Corbin. Corbin talks about how he found himself in NXT. Carmelo Hayes enters and asks Corbin when he got drafted. Hayes then gives Corbin some advice and says Corbin should have pulled out a King of the Ring tournament the way Bobby Lashley did. We get a video vignette of DIY coming to SmackDown. We get the next match for the King of the Ring tournament, Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin. The match starts off with both men going back and forth. Hayes then hits Corbin with a dropkick to Corbin's leg and follows it up with a second kick, but Corbin nails Hayes with a couple of right hands. Corbin then hits Hayes with a back elbow and follows it up with a Mission Screwdriver. Corbin and Hayes then teeter on a middle rope. Hayes then escapes and pulls Corbin down. Hayes then hits Corbin with a springboard clothesline and follows up with a face buster. Corbin then hits Hayes with a Death Valley driver and then follows up with a brain buster and then the first 48 off the middle rope. Hayes then hits Corbin with a running knee and climbs to the top. Hayes then looks to fly, but Corbin moves out of the way and sends Hayes crashing into the top turnbuckle. Corbin then hits Hayes with a lariat and a sliced bread cutter combination, but Hayes managed to roll up Corbin for the win. Please, for the love of Jesus, please, for the love of Jesus, send Corbin to Raw, team him up with Braun Breaker for the War Dogs, and we, please do us a favor. Please do us a favor. And take fucking goddamn somebody else. Take Omos. Please, for the love of God, just take Omos. We'll be good without him. So, Carmelo Hayes moves on. We then head to the back where Kayla Braxton is interviewing WWE Women's Champion Bayley. Bayley says there's a lot of talented women in the Queen of the Ring tournament, but was suddenly cut off by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Green then says Niven will kick Jade Cargill out of the tournament, and Cargill was showing walking backstage. Ruh-roh. Randy Orton is then interviewed by Byron Saxton. Orton says he's accomplished a lot in his WWE tenure, but he hasn't accomplished being the king of the ring. Orton then says Styles is great, but it will feel phenomenal to hit the RKO on him later. Orton then talks about Tama Tonga and says he hasn't forgotten about how Tonga and the Bloodline took out his friend Kevin Owens. Orton then says when he crossed paths with Tonga, it won't be out of nowhere, and he will make sure Tonga sees it coming. Next match for the Queen of the Ring tournament, which is Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. That starts, and I'm telling you, if she keeps this up, she will get the respect from me. The match starts off with both women getting into each other's faces before Cargill goes for a shoulder tackle. Niven blocks it and goes for a shoulder tackle of her own, but Cargill remains standing on her feet. Cargill then takes out Niven, Cargill then hits Niven with a shoulder tackle, but Niven responds with a back elbow. Cargill then hits Niven with a super kick, then goes for a splash in the corner. Niven then catches Cargill, hits Cargill with a senton and goes for the pin, but Cargill kicks out. Niven then puts her knee onto Cargill's neck, and Green hits Cargill with an open palm strike while the referee is distracted. Niven then hits Cargill with a body slam and clothesline, but Cargill responds with a series of forearms. Niven then runs the ropes, but Cargill nails Niven with a blue thunder bomb. Cargill then hits Niven with a couple of splashes in the corner, then blasts Green and goes for Jaded on Niven. Niven then prevents Cargill from hitting the Jaded and hits Cargill with a cannonball in the corner. Niven goes for a pin, but Cargill kicks out. Niven then climbs to the middle rope, but Cargill pulls her down and hits her with a pump kick. Cargill then hits Niven with a Jaded for the win. And there you go. Jade Cargill is heading into the next round for the Queen of the Ring tournament. Next Queen of the Ring tournament match was Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. The match starts off with Belair hitting LeRae with a shoulder tackle. LeRae then responds with a boot to Belair, but Belair gets LeRae up. LeRae then sends Belair crashing to the outside, but Belair responds by sending LeRae crashing into the barricade. Belair gets LeRae back in the ring and goes after her, but Hartwell trips Belair on her way back inside. Belair then hits LeRae with a delayed vertical suplex, then follows up with right hands in the corner. Belair then goes for a moonsault off the rope and lands awkwardly. LeRae then begins targeting Belair's knee and nails it with a kick, but Belair hits LeRae with a fallaway slam and goes for a second delayed vertical suplex. LeRae then escapes and continues targeting Belair's knee. LeRae then hits Belair with a step-up senton. LeRae then looks to fly off the ropes, but Belair catches her, hits her with a KOD for the win, and she moves on. We go to WWE Hall of Famer, the wise man, Paul Heyman. Then is shown talking to Solo Sikoa backstage. Sikoa says he's angry about how the Bloodline was drafted in the third round of the WWE draft. Sikoa then blames Heyman for taking money out of his pocket. Sikoa then mentions how Heyman looked at Jey Uso last week and asks if Heyman was trying to give Jey a signal. Sikoa then tells Heyman that he has spoken to Roman Reigns while Heyman hasn't, and Roman says he is now in charge of the Bloodline until Reigns comes back. Sikoa then explains that Heyman is now Sikoa's wise man. Sikoa then tells, "I love you, wise man," and hugs Heyman to the end of the segment. But there was a segment when they were coming back from the ring. Tanga Loa gave the eyebrow, was like this. Then Tama did the exact same thing. Who does the eyebrow? The Rock. I mean, come on. If you can't read into that and you can't pick that up, then I don't know what the fuck you're talking about and what the hell you're doing. Seriously. We get a video vignette of Andrade El Idolo. Of course, I had to say the entire thing because it took me fucking 6 months to fucking goddamn say it when he was in AEW. So guess what? You're going to get it here. All right? King of the Ring first round match. Tama Tonga versus Angelo Dawkins. This match was fucking cool. I loved it. Match starts off with Tama hitting some kicks on Dawkins, then following up with a splash in the corner. Tama delivers some right hands on Dawkins in the midsection, but Dawkins responds with a series of clotheslines and a back elbow on Tonga. Dawkins then hits Tonga with a pounce and sends him to the outside. Sikoa then jumps up on the apron, but Dawkins nails him, and Ford flies to land on him. And Tangaloa on the outside, Dawkins hits Tonga with a sit-out powerbomb. Sikoa then hits Ford with his Samoan spike. Has Loa holds him in place. Dawkins then takes notice and allows Tonga to take advantage and hits his finisher on Dawkins for the win. And Tama Tonga. Remember when he used to do this? I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see fucking Tama Tonga and Roman Reigns in the ring. Let's just say the island of relevancy is going to be flooded with my juices that are very tintillating. So then after the match, the Bloodline continues their attack on the Street Profits, and Sikoa hits Dawkins with the Samoan spike. They announced SmackDown's lineup for next week. Then we get the last match for the King of the Ring tournament, Randy Orton and the phenomenal AJ Styles. The match starts off with Styles looking to hit a shoulder tackle on Orton, but Orton responds with a back elbow and a clothesline to send Styles out of the ring. Orton then delivers some right hands on Styles in the corner. Orton then hits Styles with an uppercut, but Styles responds with a sliding forearm. Both men end up on the outside, and Styles hits a sliding knee on Orton from the apron. Orton then sends Styles crashing into the ring barricade face first and sets him up for a hanging DDT from the barricade. Styles then prevents it and goes for a phenomenal forearm off the announce desk, but Orton sees it coming. Orton then sends Styles crashing into the ring apron spine first before hitting Styles with a couple of slams onto the announce desk spine first. Orton then gets Styles back inside the ring, but Styles hits Orton with a dropkick to the back of his knee, then follows up with a chop block. Both men then ends up back on the outside, and Styles hits Orton with a running chop block. Styles then sent crashing out of the ring. Orton then goes for a hanging DDT, but Styles escapes. Orton then hits Styles with a boot to his chest, then follows up with a couple of clotheslines. Styles then rolls up Orton, but Orton kicks out. Styles then sends Orton's injured knee bouncing off the middle rope, then goes for a phenomenal forearm. Orton then trips up Styles, but Styles puts Orton in the calf crusher. Orton then escapes by putting Styles in a rear chin lock, but Styles escapes. Orton then hits Styles with a scoop power slam, and both men end up on the top rope. Styles then escapes and pulls Orton down, but Orton hits Styles with a draping DDT. Styles then hits Orton with a phenomenal forearm and goes for a pin, but Orton grabs the bottom rope to break the pin. Orton then hits Styles with an RKO for the win, and Orton moves on. And then after the match, Orton stands tall, and everybody goes home and celebrates. We're going to go on to Monday Night Raw, and then we're going to get you into AEW, and then I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend. I have to see my son on Saturday, and hopefully he's going to behave for the rest of the week, because I would like to spend some extra time with him. Last time, he was a menace. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, I'm having hiccups. An air bubble, sorry. I had soda tonight with dinner, which I shouldn't have had. And what I called soda, it's salsa water, so don't fucking come after me. All right, Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw's lining up was the King of the Ring tournament quarterfinal matches. Ilya Dragunov versus main event Jey Uso. Also the Ring General Gunther versus Kofi Kingston. Queen of the Ring tournament quarterfinals. Zoe Starks versus Lyra Valkyria, and Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler. Also in singles match, Becky Lynch versus Dakota Kai. So that is basically the precipice of the entire Monday Night Raw. So we start the show up with the Ring General, Gunther, and main event Jey Uso with his son, Ilya Dragunov, Drew McIntyre. Everybody is arriving to the ring. So then Drew McIntyre makes his way down to the ring. Michael Cole and Matt McAfee welcome us to the show. We get a loud CM Punk chants. Once McIntyre's music stopped playing, McIntyre starts off by saying, maybe if they were in Atlanta or Charlotte, then CM Punk would be here. But Punk only makes the big towns and wouldn't showed up in Greenville. McIntyre then brought up the line about the greatest trick the devil played was convincing the world that he did not exist. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, does that sound something very AEW-ish? Drew, you've signed with WWE. You can't renege on the deal here, all right? Sorry, no deposit, no return here. Or you could do a deposit, but you're not getting a return. McIntyre then says Punk is looking like a drug addict, even though he's never done drugs. McIntyre even says if you're a CM Punk fan, then you are stupid. McIntyre then accuses Raw general manager Adam Pearce of giving Punk inside scoop of his schedule. McIntyre then says he will get his hands on Punk, and then Punk will beg him to tear his tricep. McIntyre then says until then he will not waste his time on a guy who won't be cleared for 20 years. McIntyre then says his target is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and the paper champion that is Damian Priest. Paper champion. How do you go call somebody a paper champion? Meanwhile, he had the briefcase and he did everything by the book. You can't call somebody a paper champion. He got that fucking right. He fought for that right. He fought for the fucking briefcase. So happens Lee pounced on you. Oh, fucking well, deal with it, Drew. So the Judgment Date music then hits and makes their Judgment Date. Damian Priest starts off by saying McIntyre has a serious issue. McIntyre then says Priest has an inspirational story and worked his ass off. McIntyre then says Priest deserves all the success in the world. He just doesn't deserve to be world champion. Bullshit. McIntyre then says it's a case of title making the man. McIntyre then labels it the Raw title, and it says it needs him in its infancy. Priest then calls McIntyre delusional and says he blames everyone else for his failures. Priest then tells McIntyre to find a mirror and look at the reflection and then blames that asshole. Verbatim, that's what he said. Priest then says McIntyre just had to grab his wife's hand after winning the title and go and enjoy his moment. But he saw Punk and made him more important than himself. The championship and his wife. Priest then mocks McIntyre for getting his ass whooped by a one-armed man. Priest then says, if McIntyre wants a shot at the title, then he has it. Priest then says McIntyre could call him paper champion all he wants, but he'll eat those once he is finished with him. Priest then says, now you can rise to that, and tosses the mic and makes his exit. I want to let you know, Priest has resigned, and Priest also has creative control. That means he's doing his own promos. Isn't it fucking crazy to have somebody out going doing their own promos in WWE? I know it's crazy, bonkers even. Like we're living in bizarro world. I mean, actually fucking Damian Priest is doing his job and he's great at it. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Seriously. Oh my God. Seriously, you know? We get a video from earlier today of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks arriving in the arena. We also see Damage Control. How coincidental we see Shayna Baszler and then Dakota Kai. I mean, come on. Can we just fucking like acknowledge that that's Shayna's girlfriend? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, we did it for fucking Becky Lynch. We did it for Carmella, and Corey Grace. I mean, it's about time, you know? I mean, for Christ's sakes, fucking Samantha Irvin, which I'm going to give you a little fucking ditty at the end of this, because let me tell you something. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the fucking bullshit that they're fucking pushing in WWE. Baszler and Sky then jaw jacks at one another, and Baszler shoves Sky. WWE producers then quickly intervene. Io Sky then makes her way down to the ring for the first match of the night, which is the Queen of the Ring tournament quarterfinal rounds, and she's going to have her match against Shayna Baszler. My question is, when Dakota Kai sees Shayna Baszler in the ring, does she get a little turned on? I know. I would be. I would definitely be. Definitely. If my girlfriend was in the ring beating the crap out of somebody, even though it's on my team, it got a little fucking heated, you know? And you know, I would go back to the hotel room and then fun would be commencing. Or a reprimand would be commencing, whatever the case may be. The match is already in progress, and we see Baszler work over Sky's arm. Sky then tries to get back in the match, but Baszler hits Sky with an arm DT. Sky then goes up top, but Baszler cuts her off and goes for a gut wrench. Sky then escapes and knocks Baszler off the top rope. Baszler's leg gets caught in the ropes, and Sky hits Baszler with an Acai moonsault. Sky then goes for a over the moonsault. Wait a second. Over the moonsault, but Baszler gets her feet up and Sky blocks it. Sky then puts Baszler in a prawn hold, but Baszler reverses it the hold into a Karafuda clutch. Sky then reverses the Karafuda clutch into an STF, but Baszler escapes and hits Sky with a running knee. Sky then kicks out and blocks Baszler's knee attempt. Sky then hits Baszler with a dragon screw and follows up with an over the moon moonsault to get the win, and Sky moves on into the tournament. So then after the match, Jackie Redmond interviews Io Sky in the ring. Sky grabs the mic and says she would win in Japanese. By the way, there's a lot of going on, and a lot of companies are starting to want to forge relationships with WWE. Wow! Who would have thunk it? The fucking Predator leaves WWE, and we have success. Oh my God. And he can't do anything because we all thought that he was going to die in power and he was going to be running WWE from the great beyond. Now that's not the case, and I'm a happy fucking camper, and it makes me even prouder to be a wrestling fan. Professional wrestling fan. We head to the back where we see Carlito with the Judgment Day. They were approached by WWE World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest, and Carlito says the group could use extra muscle with Rhea Ripley out. Please come back soon, mommy. Priest then says the rest of the Judgment Day could work with Carlito if they wanted, but as far as he was concerned, Carlito wasn't welcome there. Carlito then says he knows Priest didn't trust him, but though he would at least trust his boys. Carlito then says even the most stubborn minds can be changed, and maybe one day they could be amigos. My pants are falling down. I'm sorry. We then see Chad Gable speak with Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. Gable says Dupree blew her opportunity and embarrassed Alpha Academy. Gable then says Otis will face Sami Zayn. Gable then says he didn't want a funny man Otis because he needed him to soften up Sami Zayn for his WWE Intercontinental match. Gable then tells Tozawa he will face Big Bronson Reed, which I hate that, and warns him not to blow it or do his dance. Ivy Nile then shows up after the men leave and asks Dupree why she didn't ask to help train for the Queen of the Ring match. Dupree says Gable didn't want her training outside the Alpha Academy. Gable then returns and sends Dupree away. Gable then says Niles has potential and tells her to stop wasting time with Taylor Not So Swift. Do we have to bring Taylor Swift into WWE universe here? I mean, come on now. Seriously. Enough is enough with this bitch. The woman gets paid to fucking make songs about her fucking breakups. So every fucking song that she has, it's a breakup. Do you see a problem? She's the problem, not the guys. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, you see. Yes, she's the problem. But I digress. We get a video package recapping the King of the Ring first round matches that set up the New Day's Kofi Kingston versus the Ring General Gunther. Kathy Kelly was then shown interviewing Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who was using a crutch. Kingston says his match was about payback for what Gunther did to Woods. Kingston then says his match with WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio reminded him that there is no room for fear in the ring. Woods then speaks about how winning the King of the Ring brings honor, but he couldn't defend that honor thanks to Gunther. Woods then tells Gunther will get his ass beat by one of the greatest champions ever in Kingston, and he would learn why New Day rocks. Samantha Irving then introduces longtime ring announcer Lillian Garcia and helps her ask to help her introduce the next match. Garcia then tells she would and then tells Irving she's doing an incredible job. Garcia and Irving then hug and Garcia introduces Kofi Kingston. I want to, before we go further, I want to tell you about, now we can push this up. Samantha Irving is the most overrated fucking goddamn ring announcer. All right? Don't like her, don't respect her, can't stand her. All right? What they did to Mike Rome, sending him back down to NXT, is atrocious. Okay? The only fucking reason why she has the position she is because of Ricochet. Now Ricochet is the basically he's the second fiddle now. So they're pushing a narrative to having two women ring announce for SmackDown and fucking goddamn Monday Night Raw. I want Mike Rome back. I like Mike Rome. Mike Rome has been there for fucking probably 10 plus years. And this is the thanks he gets. This is the thanks he gets. I hope he's got something lined up besides this, because let me tell you something, he deserves so much better. And please clip this and send it to Samantha and Alicia, because both of them are overrated. My favorite fucking ring announcer was Greg Hamill. My other favorite ring announcer besides Mike Rome was Justin Roberts. And of course, we can't forget about Tony Chimmel. Those were fucking ring announcers. Not fucking a crying wumpy baby that you couldn't even get the fucking goddamn announcing out. At WrestleMania, be professional. You could cry, but cry after you've done the fucking announcement. Be professional. Keep composure. No, because I know exactly why she did it, because she needed her fucking fame, and she needed the spotlight to be on her and have her WrestleMania moment. Piece of fucking garbage. I'm team Mike Rome all the way. Those two could go fucking straight to hell. If I could, I'd fucking mute the goddamn microphones. They're obnoxious. Obnoxious with a capital O. We then head to the back where WWE World Tag Team Champion R-Truth is speaking with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. World Tag Team Champion Mike, The Miz, then approaches them, and he was nervous that Truth put them in a title match. Pearce then assured Miz that they weren't defending the titles tonight, that they were just needed new contenders. But Miz was still nervous. Kiana James then enters and says she's looking forward to working under Pearce and will prove that why she was the 1%. Why she will prove why she's the 1%. Pearce then tells James not to hesitate to contact him. James then says she doesn't hesitate, she just adjudicates. Truth then says he didn't know what that meant and thought her comment was not PG. This is why I get infuriated with Truth. I'm sorry. The next King of the Ring quarterfinal match is Gunther versus Kofi Kingston. But before this match got officially to start, Kingston drops Gunther off the apron. Kingston then hits Gunther with a suicide dive. Kingston then drop kicks Gunther to the side of the ring. Kingston then slams Gunther's right knee against the LED board and kicks it several times. Gunther then fights back briefly, but Kingston hits Gunther with a flying knee from the middle rope. Gunther then enters the ring and Kingston wrenches his knee over the apron and then slams it against the ring post. The referee then pulls Kingston away from Gunther, but Kingston hits a running kick on Gunther's bad knee. The match then officially starts, and Kingston hits Gunther with a top rope boom drop for a 2 count. Gunther then rolls out to the floor and sends Kingston to the announce table. Gunther then climbs onto the announce table and puts Kingston in a Boston grab. Gunther then releases the hold when the referee abolishes him. Then Gunther puts Kingston in a half crab. Gunther then nails Kingston with a boot to the face. Gunther then hits Kingston with a backbreaker. Kingston then avoids a short arm clothesline from Gunther, but Gunther avoids an SOS from Kingston as well. Kingston then hits Gunther with a top rope crossbody block. Gunther then puts Kingston in a Boston Crab, and Kingston rolls over, and Kingston kicks his way free. Kingston then hits Gunther with an SOS for a 2 count. Kingston then goes up top, but Gunther avoids Kingston and hits a drop kick on Kingston from behind. Gunther then turns Kingston inside out with a clothesline and gets a 2 count. Gunther then wrenches Kingston's back around the ring post before pulling him to the floor. Kingston then hits Gunther with a Hurricane Rana that sends him into the ring post. Kingston then hits Gunther with a Trouble in Paradise. Kingston then returns to the ring at 7, and Gunther gets back at 9. Gunther then avoids a second Trouble in Paradise. Gunther then power bombs Kingston and puts him in a Boston Crab, and Kingston submits. So Gunther advances. No shit. We then head back to the back where Jackie Redmond is interviewed with Lyra Valkyria. Lyra says she sent a message to Damage Control last week, and they better get used to her. Lyra then says she has Becky Lynch's back. The WWE Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Ugh. I miss Rhea Ripley, for fuck's sake. Then appears and wishes Lyra luck tonight. Lynch then leaves, and the interview continues, but Liv Morgan interrupts. Morgan says Lyra will have fun on Raw. Lyra then says she appreciates it. Morgan then asks Lyra if Lynch has always been such a bitch. Lyra then tells Morgan that she can ask Lynch herself. The camera then shows Lynch standing behind Morgan. Lynch then nails Morgan with a side hand. Lynch then says she wasn't the one scared of a face-to-face fight. Lynch then calls Morgan a bitch. Yes, Morgan is a bitch. Stay the fuck away from dirty Dominic Mysterio. Leave him be. Mommy is going to fuck you up. And guess what? She'll always be on top. She'll be on top of you, and she'll have her fucking man. Leave him be. We then see Karrion Kross approach Kofi Kingston. Kross calls it a tough loss, but says there's always time to turn things around. Woods then appears and gives Kingston some ice. Woods then asks what Kross wanted, and Kingston wasn't sure. I would love to see Kofi Kingston turn heel. Yes, please. Yes, times 1,000. Yes, absolutely. I would like to see it. Singles match, Bronson Reed versus Akira Tozawa. The match starts off with Tozawa delivering a few strikes to Reed. Tozawa hits a drop kick off the top rope, and Reed goes down. Tozawa then rips off his shirt. Tozawa then goes for a senton off the top rope, but Reed catches Tozawa and hits him with a DVD, Death Valley Driver. If you don't know what that means, now you know. Reed then hits a Tozawa with a tsunami for the win, and that's all she wrote. After the match, Chad Gable berates Akira Tozawa for losing. We then head to the back where Kathy Kelly approaches the ring general, Gunther, for the interview, but Gunther blows her off, so Ludwig Kaiser takes over. Kelly mentions that Ilya Dragunov beat Gunther the last time they wrestled, while Gunther's win over main event Jey Uso was particularly thanks to Jimmy Uso. Kelly Also says Gunther win over Sheamus last week was also thanks to part to him. Kaiser then reminds Kelly that Gunther is the most successful Intercontinental Champion in history. Kaiser then says Sheamus was delusional if he thought thought his loss to Gunther thanks to him. Kaiser then says Sheamus has accomplished a lot, but has never beaten Gunther. Kaiser also says if Sheamus has a problem, then he has no problem exposing him. We see Jackie Redmond with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, who had an announcement regarding the WWE Tag Team titles. Tyler Bate comes in and drags Pete Dunne with him. Bate says he wanted Pearce to know they appreciate the opportunity to be on Raw. Dunne then drags Bate out of the room. Pearce then announced there will be a fatal four-way to determine the new number one contenders tag team titles, and the match will be between the New Catch Republic, the Authors of Pain, the Creed Brothers, and Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Redmond then asks Pearce why Braun Breaker wasn't in the King of the Ring. Pearce then says Breaker has unlimited potential, but the Raw wrestlers in the tournament earned their opportunities. That's all you need to say. These guys have been on Raw. They deserve to be in this position. You were on SmackDown and NXT, so you couldn't factor into this. So sorry, maybe next year. You will have opportunities. Guaranteed, you'll be on the card at Clash of the Castles doing something, or you'll be doing something at SummerSlam. So you just got here and you're so fucking young. Chill the fuck out, Braun. Pearce then says he didn't want to shove Braun into the deep end. Breaker then appears and says his opponents in the King of the Ring would have been in deep end with him. Breaker then says he would have watched them drown and smiled while they did. Breaker then says he should have been in the damn tournament and leaves. This is where, oh my God, this is where Braun should say, you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to get my tag team partner in here, and I'm going to try to fucking get the tag team titles on Raw. So you know what he should have done? He's like, Pearce, I need to speak to you. Can we speak in private? Okay? I want Baron Corbin on Monday Night Raw. What can we do? Let's make a trade. Next week on Monday Night Raw, Adam Pearce has a breaking news, breaking announcement. He comes in, he's like, you know, I'm trying to be the best general manager, and you know what? I'm doing this. As of right now, I am trading X wrestler to SmackDown in turn for Baron Corbin, which means after who wins after the match of the number one contender, and obviously they're going to be in Saudi Arabia, the winners of that match will be taking on the War Dogs at Clash of the Castle. Pay me. Then you got your match, Braun. You got your match. Or we can't have Braun Strowman and Braun Breaker on the same fucking show. Is this a is this a Vince McMahon thing? We can't have the same name on the same show. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they are on the same fucking show. What the fuck? Yeah, they are on the same show. What the fuck is the difference? Next match, Queen of the Ring Tournament quarterfinal. Zoe Starks versus Lyra Valkyria. The match starts off with Stark and Valkyrie trading strikes and takedowns. Starks then hits Valkyrie with a springboard missile drop kick for a near fall. Starks then works over Valkyria, but Valkyria fires up and delivers a flurry of strikes on Stark. Stark then rolls out of the ring, but Valkyria hits Starks with a drop kick through the ropes. Valkyria then hits Stark with a top rope crossbody followed by a tornado DDT, but Starks kicks out. Valkyria and Starks then trade kicks. Starks then hits Valkyria with a half Nelson suplex, but Valkyria kicks out. Starks then misses a dive but lands on her feet. Valkyria then nails Stark with a spinning heel kick. Valkyria then goes for another tornado DDT, but Starks counters with a suplex for the corner. Suplex into the corner. Starks then goes for Z360, but Valkyria reverses it into the Nightwing for the win. So Lyra Valkyria picks up her first victory on Monday night, or the second victory, I think. Yes, second victory on Monday Night Raw. So then after the match, Valkyria cuts a promo in Gaelic. Valkyria says she goes as the crow flies straight to the top. Main event, Jey Uso then cuts a promo backstage. Uso says that he was in the tournament because McIntyre couldn't cut it, and Balor receives a heat down last week. Uso then welcomes Dragunov to Raw, and Dragunov would get a heat down just like Gunther will next week. Uso then says he will get that crown and become king of the ring. So, let's just say he becomes king of the ring. Who's the real tribal chief? If he's the king, what does that make Roman? And what does that make fucking The Rock? Worlds colliding, worlds colliding. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I have never been so invested in WWE storylines than I have been in this past year. And the way they're telling it and what we could be possibly having at SummerSlam. Oh, yay. Mama's gonna freaking be happy as a pig in you know what. So yeah, I'm really excited about SummerSlam. Shockingly, like 3 years ago, I was like, fuck this, you know? Singles match. Otis versus Sami Zayn. Non-title match. The match starts off with Otis beating Zayn in the corner. Otis then hits Zayn with his spinning back elbow. Gable then cheers as Otis crushes Zayn in the corner. Otis then calls for the caterpillar. Gable hops on the apron and tells Otis no. Otis then rips off his shirt and hits a caterpillar anyway. Gable then yells at Otis. Otis then goes up top for and misses a Vader bomb. Otis then ends up in the corner. Zayn hits Otis with a haluva kick for the win, and that is the end of that. After the match, Gable yells at Otis and pie faces him. Zayn then runs back into the ring and suplexes Gable in the corner. Gable then narrowly avoids getting hit with a haluva kick. Otis then helps Gable up, and Gable tells Otis it's his fault. Gable then slaps Otis. Otis then follows Gable to the back. We head to the back where Braun Strowman puts over the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. Strowman then tells them that he is enjoying what they are doing. JD McDonough then enters and confronts Strowman. McDonough tells Strowman that Judgment Day runs Raw and they don't appreciate him sticking his nose in their business. McDonough then tells Strowman this is a warning, and Strowman laughs about it. We then get the next match, which is Dakota Kai versus Becky Lynch. The match starts off with Lynch working over Kai. After a distraction from Zayn and Sky, Kai hits Lynch with a boot off the top rope. Kai beats Lynch down. Lynch counters with a running boot from Kai with a springboard kick in the corner. The fight spills out onto the apron. Kai then misses a leaping stomp, and Lynch hits Kai with a rope hanging drop kick, but Kai kicks out. Kai then avoids a manhandle slam and hits Lynch with a pump kick, but Lynch kicks out. Lynch then hits Kai with a suplex and goes for an armbar, but Kai counters into a pin. Lynch then kicks out, and both women trade pins attempts. Lynch then puts Kai into a disarmor, but before Kai can tap Sky, then Zayn attacks Lynch and causing a disqualification. So Becky Lynch picks up the win via DQ. So then after the match, Damage Control takes turn beating up Lynch. Lyra Valkyria makes her way down to the ring to make the save. Liv Morgan makes her way down to the ring and sends Lynch into the post. Morgan then leaves. We then head to the back where Jackie Redmond is interviewing Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov says it was a dream for others to be in this spot. It was enough for him just to be here. Why would you say that? Honestly, why would he say that? Like, it's just an honor just to be here. Fuck shit. I worked my ass off. I deserve to be here, motherfucker. I fucking worked in Europe, in fucking probably Russia and everything like that. I got my chance to go to NXT UK, and then I got my chance to go to NXT. I've worked my ass off. I fucking came from the bottom, and now I'm here. Motherfucker, I am here, and I'm making a fucking statement, motherfucker. Dragunov then says he was there to make a moment night in and night out. Dragunov says he says he is the star of the ring, and he knew just when to strike in his win over Ricochet last week, and he will do the same to Jey Uso tonight. Dragunov then says he beat Gunther before, and it's not over between them, not by a fucking mile. Gunther then suddenly appears besides Gunther. Gunther smiles, and it's like, Triple H, I swear to Christ, he knows that we want this match again. He knows it for a fucking fact. And he's a fucking cock tease, and I love it. He's a good cock tease. He's like, do you want the match? You ain't get the match. You want the match? You ain't getting the match. You want the match? You ain't getting the match. You want the fucking match? You ain't getting the fucking match. You got the fucking match, and he just spews his load all over the place. And then we will see the justice certs and the sweet taste in our mouth. I mean, that's if you swallow the dessert. Fatal 4-way match for number one contender. Judgment Day's Finn Balor and JD McDonough, New Catch Republic Bruiserweight Pete Dunne versus and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, AOP, Akam Razor, the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus Creed. The match starts off with McDonough and Balor working over Bate in the corner. Bate then tags Dunne in. Bate then and Dunne then hit a double backdrop on Judgment Day. Dunne then snaps McDonough's fingers. The AOP then clear the ring. Akam and Razor then sends McDonough over the ropes, over the top rope on top of everyone else. Julius Creed then gets the tag and suplexes everyone. Balor and McDonough then attack Julius. Julius then suplexes both men at the same time. Julius then hits the standing shooting star. Dunne and Bate then hit stereo moonsaults off the apron, taking out Razor and Akam. Julius then hops to the top rope and suplexes Balor, but AOP breaks up the pin. Brutus then suplexes Akam. Brutus then goes up top and Bate gates and blinds tags. Brutus then hits Brutus wall to everyone outside the ring. Bate then blasts Akam with a lariat. Bate then hits airplane spin. Bate and Dunne then hits a burning hammer on Balor. Dunne then tries to powerbomb Balor on the commentary desk, but Carlito appears out of nowhere and attacks Dunne. Carlito then hits a backstabber on Dunne on the commentary desk. Balor then hits a coup de grace on Dunne for the win. I would actually like to see Tyler Bate versus Balor versus Dunne. Oh, those matches are mwah. And then you're going to throw in Jordan Devlin. I mean, come on. The fucking matches alone on Raw are going to fucking cook. Triple H is probably sitting with the rosters and fucking jerking off and saying, I'm going to fucking run WWE the way it's meant to be. Black and gold style. Baby. Oh, I miss you, Adam Cole. I swear to God, the best time in Adam Cole's career was when he was in NXT. Tell me when I'm telling lies. He's doing jack shit right now on AEW. You better be all thanking Miss Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, because if it wasn't for her, Adam Cole would be in WWE. We head to the back where Ricochet approaches Dragunov as he is warming up. Ricochet says he wanted to show respect as they had a hell of a match, but tells him that the outcome of their match will be different when they face each other again. Ricochet then wishes Dragunov luck and tells him to get the crown. We then see WWE World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest with Dominic Mysterio backstage, and Priest asks if everything was good with Ripley. Mommy better get her ass back because I will turn on Dominic. I will turn on him. I will not ever go against Mommy. I'm sorry. Mysterio doesn't answer, and Valor, McDonough, and Carlito enter. They were very excited about the win, but Carlito was worried Priest wasn't happy. Priest says what he did was cool. They were all happy for a moment until Priest tells Carlito he needed to handle business with Rey Mysterio. Priest then tells he wasn't interested in doing business with him if he let them down. So he's got to do this all on his own now. And once he does that, could we see Carlito join the Judgment Day for a brief time until Rhea Ripley gets back? They announced next week's Raw lineup, and then we get the main event. No pun intended. For the King of the Ring quarterfinal match. Ilya Dragunov versus main event Jey Uso. The match starts out with Jey and Dragunov trading strikes. Jey then goes for an enziguri, but Dragunov avoids it. Dragunov then hits Jey with a spinning chop. Dragunov goes up top, but Jey hits Dragunov with a drop kick. Dragunov then falls to the floor, and Jey hits a dive on Dragunov. Dragunov then fights off Jey's shoulders and hits Jey with a leaping knee strike. Dragunov clears the announce desk. Jey then moves out of the way as Dragunov tries an H-bomb off the barricade. Jey then hits Dragunov with a spear over the commentary desk. Dragunov and Jey then trade shots. Dragunov then gets a near fall after hitting a Constantine special on Jey. Dragunov then lights up Jey with chops in the corner. Before Jey can recover, Dragunov face washes Jey. Jey then blocks Dragunov's second Constantine special with a super kick to Dragunov's arm. Jey then delivers a flurry of super kicks on Dragunov for a near fall. Dragunov then blocks a spear from Jey with a knee to the face. Dragunov then hits Jey with a running knee strike, then follows up with a powerbomb. Dragunov then calls for an H-bomb, but Jey kicks out. Jey then counters with a torpedo Moscow with a spear. Jey then hits the Uso splash on Dragunov for the win. And could we see the Bloodline taking over the King of the Ring tournament? Ooh, worlds colliding, people. And if you don't know the reference, Seinfeld, I'm not going to try to explain it, please. After the match, the Ring General, Gunther, makes his way down to the ring and laughs at Dragunov. Gunther then has a stare down with Jey Uso as the show comes to a close. So that's the end of WWE. We're going to go into AEW. Please do me a favor. Follow me on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, Cameo. I'm on Cameo as well. All Mel's Mat Chat. You can find me all there. Please do me a favor. And please also follow me on Snapchat, Real Mel's Mat Chat. Also, please like, share, subscribe, turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, upload a video, or do a short, you will all know about it. So let's get to the next. We're going to go into Collision. I think Collision and Rampage. Ow, my knees are killing me tonight. Yeah, Collision and Rampage were on the same 3 hours. And I think what they should do, get rid of Collision, get rid of Rampage, come up with a fucking new name, and be done with it. Go 3 hours on a Saturday night. Or go 3 hours on a Wednesday. Pick your poison. Perfect idea. Keep Collision 2 hours, get rid of Rampage, and make Dynamite 3 hours. I've solved your problem. Basically, Dynamite is Raw, Collision is SmackDown. Pay me, Tony Khan. But they came out with a new show. A meal and a match. Like dinner and a movie. Why? They can't even fucking book storylines on fucking Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite. What do you think they're going to do it here? It just better be random matches because I'm not going to fucking... I'll tune into the first one, but after that, I ain't doing it again. And that's it. Collision and Rampage. And they were coming from the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia. Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli versus Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin. Fans chanted AEW, AEW as the match began. Darius took down Danielson with an arm drag. Darius hit a shoulder tackle and a backslide for near fall on an American Dragon. Dante tagged in and he put Danielson in a wrist lock. Danielson managed to reach his corner and Claudio tagged in, blasting Dante with a European uppercut. Top Flight used Chris Tandem offense on Claudio. Danielson tagged in and put Darius in a Romero special. Claudio tagged in and charged at Darius with a running European uppercut as Danielson and had Darius tied up. Vance chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Darius and Danielson traded chops. Danielson unleashed flurry of off kicks to Darius, but Darius used top turnbuckle pad to connect with a Pele kick. Dante and Claudio tagged in for their respective teams. Dante caught Claudio with a flying crossbody press. Dante hit Danielson with a tope suicida. Dante climbed to the top and nailed Claudio with a 5-star frog splash for a 2 count. Out of nowhere, Claudio grabbed Dante and hurled him around the ring with a giant swing. Claudio locked Dante in the sharpshooter. Darius jumped in to break up the hold and planted Claudio with a flatliner. Darius followed up with a tope suicida to Danielson. Dante hit a springboard moonsault on Claudio, but Claudio kicked out at the count of 2. Top Flight tried their combo offense on Claudio, but Claudio dodged it, and Danielson drilled Dante with a running knee strike. Claudio clocked Darius with a running European uppercuts and scored the pin for the Blackpool Combat Club. Danielson let a round of applause for Top Flight. Let's give a round of applause to Top Flight. These men, this is what AEW is all about. Shortly after the match started, I heard a chant of the crowd and warmed my heart, and it was only 3 letters, AEW. The first anarchy in the arena almost ended my career, but reasons why I'm willing to come and fight in the anarchy in the arena at Double or Nothing is because I love AEW. The Young Bucks and the Elite are part of the formation of AEW, but I don't represent what AEW is anymore. Tony Khan has been at every single AEW show since its inception. Every Dynamite, every Collision, every Rampage, every Ring of Honor show. The Bucks want to run this company. They're not even here. You want to know why I'm willing to fight in the match that has almost ended my career? Because of one reason. I love AEW. I love what AEW represents. I love what AEW gives to the fans, and I will do anything, and I mean anything to protect it. So wait a minute. It's loving what giving to the fans, but it's not giving what the fans really want. So you mean to tell me, you're going to tell me that you love this company the way it is right now is because you are in some sort of control. Sounds like something you picked up by fucking Paul Levesque and Stephanie McMahon. My, have the fucking tables have turned. You were not the authority in AEW and WWE. Now you're the authority, and you are now doing like producing and shit like that. My, times have changed. Talking about the biggest fucking hypocrite in professional wrestling history. Shane Taylor Promotions, Lee Moriarty versus Will Ospreay. AEW International Champion Roderick Strong was on commentary for this match. Strong was drawn by Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Who? So Mike Bennett goes from being a cuck to a irrelevant guy that's just holding a fucking worthless title. But go make that money. Go make that money and and rest your morals on that money and being so irrelevant and being in the Undisputed Era. Oh, I'm sorry, Kingdom is what it's all about. Because they're taking an idea that Triple H have already perfected. Because let me tell you something. If you were in WWE, all you guys would be on the same team, plus Bobby Fish, plus Kyle O'Reilly, plus the whole motley crew of them. And you guys would be running fucking WWE. Judgment Day, who? Anyhow. Moriarty and Ospreay chain wrestled at the start of the match, feeling one another out. Ospreay took down Moriarty with a Hurricane Rana, followed up with a crossbody press over the top rope onto Moriarty on the arena floor. Moriarty charged at Will, but Will countered with a big back body drop, then a front pump kick. Will walloped Moriarty with a flying forearm. Will thought about using the Tiger Driver 91 and then decided against it. His hesitation cost him, and Lee hoisted Will up and planted him for a near fall. Lee smacked Will with a lariat in the corner. Will rallied back with a torture rack into a powerbomb for a near fall on Moriarty. Shane Taylor jumped on the apron, but Will leveled with a thrust kick. Ospreay went for an Os cutter, but Lee countered with a Border City stretch. Will transitioned and cradled Lee for a 2 count. Will cracked Lee with a back elbow. Will smashed Lee with a Stormbreaker and pinned Lee. International champion Roderick Strong taunted Will from ring apron as Will had his focus on Strong. Shane Taylor blindsided Will Ospreay. Taylor struck Will with a KO shot. And if you think Roderick Strong is going to be defending this title against Will Ospreay and not losing it, you're going to be delusional. I swear, Roderick Strong has always been in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was supposed to be NXT champion. Little did you guys all know that. But when they were signing people from like TNA, ROH, New Japan, and everything like that, they became the bigger stars. Roderick had to take a couple steps back. So always the groom, always the best man, never the groom. Trios match. Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona versus Evan Rivers and the Virtuo Twins. Cage manhandled Evan Rivers. Gates of Agony went after the Varro twins, picking them apart one by one. This is an absolute mugging, said Nigel. The Gates of Agony picked up Evans. Rivers then tossed him into the waiting arms of Brian Cage, who proceeded to powerbomb Rivers for a pinfall victory. No surprise there. After the match, Tony Schiavone entered the ring to interview Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. Schiavone asked why they attacked Swerve Strickland on Dynamite last week. All right, let's hear what Cage has to say. It's not Swerve's house anymore. Swerve, you selfish, you and Nana both. You two, all the two of you did was take and take and take. You left us high and dry until you needed us once again. That's not the kind of leadership and guidance we were looking for. The kind of leadership and guidance we were looking for is that of our elite EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. So now they're part of the elite now. Brian Cage, man, you were the machine in Lucha Underground. I'm sorry, but this pains me to see how you fucking goddamn totally fell from grace. Now you're gonna be fucking goddamn the Bucks bitch or the Cucks bitch, whatever you case may be. So AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland music began to play. Cage walked uh, out of the ring up on the ramp, waiting for Swerve to appear. Swerve snuck up through the crowd carrying a steel chair. Swerve yanked Bishop out of the ring with a chain. Toa charged at Swerve, but Swerve low-bridged him, and Toa's momentum sent him crashing onto the arena floor. Cage sprinted back into the ring, but got caught by a German suplex by Swerve. Strickland hit a house call on Cage, taking matters into his own hands. Swerve double stomped Toa, and then AEW World Champion swerved up a double stomp to Bishop Khan. Swerve wrapped a chain around Bishop Khan's, tying him up against the ring post. As Swerve was dealing with Bishop, Toa charged and shoulder blocked Swerve. Toa charged at Swerve again, but this time Swerve rocked Toa with a cinder block. Swerve grabbed Toa by the hair, stood on Toa's head on the top of the ring step, and smacked him with the steel ring chair. Cage glared at Swerve at Cage backpedaled up the ramp. After the commercial break, Swerve Strickland was backstage with strong words for the Mogul Embassy. Brian Cage, this Wednesday on Dynamite, it's my home state of Washington. You face off with the world champions, so people, you know how it goes. Welcome to whose house? Swerve's house. Daniel Garcia versus KM. Danny Garcia cracked KM with forearms. KM fight back with short arm lariat. Garcia rallied by KM in the corner. Garcia applied the Dragon Sleeper, and KM tapped out. Very, very, very simple, very effective. Dynamite Kid. You never thought you'd hear that one again. Tom Billingston. And he is the nephew of the Dynamite Kid. And he's also the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith are cousins somehow. So they're all related somehow, and it's weird. It's fucking weird. It's like worse than the fucking bloodline at this point, with the Harts and the Smiths and the Billings, whatever. It's crazy. Versus Dax Hardwood. Dax, I think it's Cash Wheeler. His charges were dropped, so he's not facing charges for the gun flashing thing that he was arrested for last year. Tony Schiavone said that there was breaking news from Tony Khan this Wednesday on Dynamite. It will be AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland against the Machine Brian Cage in an AEW Championship Eliminator match. Why? Does he deserve it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Dax used a side headlock to take down Dynamite Kid. Billingston stunned Dax with two headbutts. Billingston brought down Dax with a running shoulder tackle. Dax sent Dynamite Kid down with a back elbow. Dax used a snap suplex. Billingston fired back with a shotgun dropkick. Billingston charged Dax with both men crashing to the arena floor after a running cross body press from Billingston. Dynamite Kid jumped off the top turnbuckle to the outside and wiped out Dax. The fans began to chant Dynamite, Dynamite, Dynamite. Dynamite Kid, Tom Billingston connected with a shotgun dropkick to Dax. Billingston followed up with a big elbow from the top rope for a near fall on Dax. Hardwood hoisted Billings onto the top turnbuckle. Billingston fought back with a repeated headbutts to Dax, finally chopping Dax off the turnbuckle and back to the mat. Dax climbed back up to suplex Billington. Vance chant, "This is awesome, this is awesome." I would say AEW of Dynamite Kid, Tom Billington has been a good one thus far, said Shivani. Dax caught Billington with two German suplexes. Billington did a standing switch and dished out German suplex of his own. Billington suplexed Dax a second time. Dax escaped and a dragon suplex Dynamite. Nasty landing for a young man, said Nigel. Billington escaped a piledriver attempt from Dax, rolled Dax up with a cradle for a near fall. Billington jumped on Dax's shoulders, but Dax countered with a slingshot powerbomb for the pin. Take a look around. Standing ovation for Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington, said Nigel. Gee, what happened to the Owen Hart Cup? What, did Tony Khan run out of money to give to the bitch? Yes, please cut and splice this and give it to her. I will call her a bitch. I will call her a cunt. I will call her anything I goddamn well choose. Because let me tell you something. That cunt will not let Owen Hart take his rightful place in WWE Hall of Fame, and she could go fuck off. Sorry, not sorry. Tony Schiavone had more breaking news. Said Don Callis was looking for revenge against Jon Moxley for what happened against Powerhouse Hobbs. Callis is bringing Jeff Cobb to team with Kyle Fletcher to take on Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson this Wednesday on Dynamite. Footage played on last Wednesday's Dynamite of the Elite backstage. AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada challenged Dax Harwood to a match and stormed off. Christopher Daniels walked by Matthew Jackson and stopped and started screaming at him. Daniels yelled back and said he wasn't some lackey. Daniels, I've been here since day one. I've earned my job, and I put my career off to the side to make this company as good as it can be. And I was your friend when I was being your friend was the hardest job on the planet. So if you ever talk to me like that again, I'll beat your ass, Matt. Daniels. We heard from Christopher Daniels. I'll never enjoy my success so much that I forget the sacrifices I took to get there. But Nick Jackson, you seem to have forgotten where you come from. But I haven't forgotten. Now that AEW is 5 years old, we have set to reap the benefits. But you want to make this about yourselves rather than the company, and I am not going to let that happen. This past week on Dynamite, you tried to start a riot in the ring, and when I went to do my job to keep the peace, you talked down to me like I'm some servant. Well, Nick, you found out that I'm not going to stand for that. But now your feelings are hurt because of some form of punishment. I have to get a partner and meet you in the ring this Wednesday night. Okay. As far as a partner go, I picked Matt Sydal, the original high flyer and innovator, because we've held championships before, and we know what it means to be successful. Your title as EVP won't matter when the bell rings. And as far as punishment, yeah, someone's going to get punished, just not who you think. Oh. Dax Harwood says he is ready for the AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada challenge to a match this Wednesday on Dynamite. Dax, I promise you, on Wednesday night, you ain't never face anybody like me. Thunder Rosa versus Robin Renegade. Thunder Rosa took down Robin with arm whips and followed up with a drop kick. Thunder Rosa attacked Robin with chops to the chest. Robin served up double-handed chops of her own. Thunder Rosa kicked Robin in the face. Outside the ring, Robin pump kicked Thunder Rosa, knocking Thunder Rosa against the guardrail. Back in the ring, Robin double stomped Thunder Rosa as Thunder Rosa draped across the middle rope. Thunder Rosa retaliated with a running lariat and then a lung blower. Thunder Rosa charged at Robin and a basement dropkick Robin. Robin regained momentum with a moonsault, but Thunder Rosa dodged it. Thunder Rosa double stomped Robin right on the spine. Thunder Rosa applied the Cobra Clutch and forced Robin to tap out. I feel bad for Thunder Rosa. She's got the shit end of the stick. Between uh, um, Dr. Britt Baker, and then now Tony Storm. It's like this girl can't catch a break. I swear her contract comes up. Papa H will take good care of you. Hook was on the street. Harsh words for FTW champion, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. Hook, Jericho, you don't know who or what I can be, but I can't wait to show you. Can we get Chris Jericho to leave for a while? Go on tour with Fozzy for like 2 years, then come back with these fucking new fucking these new taglines that you have. It's ridiculous. Collision main event. Cope Open, TNT title, the rated R superstar Adam Copeland versus Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle used a side headlock takeover on Copeland. Kyle battered Copeland with knee strikes. Copeland came back with a gutbuster on Kyle. Copeland followed up with hammer throw on Kyle into the top turnbuckle pad. Copeland charged at Kyle with a cross chop to the throat, knocking Kyle to the arena floor. Copeland tried for an elbow chop, but O'Reilly countered, catching Copeland with an arm bar. Copeland escaped and applied a cross-face submission. Kyle swung his hips and managed to reach the ropes with his foot, getting the rope break. Kyle rocked Copeland with a knee strike and then a leg sweep. Kyle connected with a running forearm shot. Kyle hit a belly to back suplex, then a transition right into a leg lock. Copeland barely reached the ropes, forcing the ref to break the hold. Kyle wrenched on Copeland's arm, planting him shoulder first on the apron. Kyle dropped a knee from the top turnbuckle. Kyle applied a Fujiwara armbar. Copeland escaped and planted Kyle on the mat. Fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Kyle dodged a spear from Copeland and then rolled Copeland up for a 2 count. Copeland grabbed a rear naked choke, but Kyle escaped and locked on an armbar. Copeland fought his way out of it. Kyle drilled Copeland off the top rope, shoulder first, onto the mat. Copeland hit Kyle with a liver shot, and Kyle collapsed into the mat. Copeland speared Kyle, but Kyle countered with a body scissors. They're standing everywhere, said Tony Schiavone. Copeland powered himself to the mat, spiked Kyle with the Impaler DDT. Copeland speared Kyle and finally scored the pin in a hard-fought match. After the match, Copeland helped Kyle to the feet and 2 men embraced. Kyle tried to walk away, but Copeland wouldn't let go Kyle's hand. Copeland looked confused at his own actions and wiped a little blood from his mouth. Copeland wouldn't let go. Something's not right with Adam Copeland. Ruh-roh. Do we see Adam Copeland joining the House of Black? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I think he's got an infatuation with the Matthews household. You know, he's got a thing for Rhea. Then he's got, it's interesting. Interesting. Got to keep my eye on that one. Rampage begins. So Lexi Nair interviewing Claudio Castagnoli backstage, wondering why he left Bryan Danielson alone in the ring after their victory. Claudio, Anarchy in the Ring. I was watching last Wednesday, and Bryan came out and wanted to fight and represent AEW. I understand that. I understand wanting to beat the crap out of the Elite. But him and Eddie Kingston at Anarchy in the Arena again. Last time they were in Anarchy Arena together, it almost ended Bryan's career. I know Eddie is walking around saying he's a changed man, but Eddie can go back to his old self in a second. I know him better than anyone else. I know this Bryan last year, he was calling the shots. He's doing all the matches he wants to do. And I support that. But that one, I want my friend to retire healthy. I don't want anything to do with Anarchy Arena and Danielson and Moxley. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want Danielson to get hurt. All right. Interesting situation. Trent Beretta versus Dalton Castle. Castle threw Trent through the mat with a gut wrench. Dalton cracked Trent with a running knee strike, knocking Trent off the apron to the floor. Trent spiked Dalton with a draping DDT on the apron. Trent and Dalton collided with one another with lariats, both falling to the mat from the impact of the double clothesline. Dalton and Castle slammed Trent to the mat with a gut-wrench suplex, fired back with a pile driver for a near fall. "What a match, guys," said Daddy Magic. Dalton countered DDT with a German suplex. Trent gouged Dalton's eyes. Trent applied a triangle choke and forced Dalton to tap out. Trent had wrist tape with the word Chuck written on it with black magic marker. The bounty hunter Brian Keith versus JD Drake. But everybody likes Rampage, right? Keith chopped at Drake, but Drake fired back with a clubbing blow. Keith connected with a flying shoulder and then body slammed Drake. Keith finished Drake with an over-the-top stunner to Drake for the pin. And that was it. Very simple. Moving on. TNT champion Adam Copeland was backstage behind barbed wire fence. Copeland. "Malachi Black, I've already taken out Buddy Matthews and Brody King. So now it's your turn. You want evil? You want my darkest side? It's starting to come out, and I don't think you want it, but I think you do. So I have a challenge for you at Double or Nothing, Las Vegas. Malachi Black against Copeland in a barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT Championship. If you're a man enough, I want to see you this Wednesday on Dynamite to accept my challenge." Another two ladies that get lost in the shuffle. The Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo versus Lady Frost. Purrazzo swept Lady Frost's leg on the apron. Deonna pump kicked Lady Frost in the face. Lady Frost fired back with a clothesline and a question mark kick, mounting quite the comeback. Frost slipped in the corner and with a cannonball splash. Deonna caught Lady Frost with a knee strike and then a Russian leg sweep. Lady Frost rallied back with a tornillo. Lady Frost climbed back up the turnbuckles, but Deonna tied her in the tree of woe. Deonna charged at Lady Frost with a running shoulder to the midsection and pinned Lady Frost. "Talk about offense. I haven't seen that before," said Nigel. "Neither have I, but I won't. But it won it for Deonna Purrazzo," replied Tony Schiavone. Thunder Rosa ran to the ring wielding a steel chair. Deonna retreated through the fans while AEW security held Thunder Rosa back. A new music aired, hyping Acclaim, accompanied by a new rap from Matt Caster. Up next, a vignette advertising the return of Scorpio Sky. "The sky is the limit," said Scorpio Sky. Is he really necessary? Honestly. Seriously. Is he fucking necessary to AEW? If AEW wants to cut fucking budgets and whatnot, they need to start going through the roster. He I don't know what the hell he's got, but he's going to be on again. I mean, he goes away, he comes back, he goes away, he comes back. How the fuck are you going to be in contention for any titles? Oh, that's right, because the fucking goddamn rankings are no longer in play. And tell me when I'm telling lies on that. There is no rankings. Do people keep up with it? No, nobody keeps up with it. I started it again, but then I said, fuck it. Nobody's fucking taking it seriously. It is what it is. Main event, the Bastard Pack versus Johnny TV. Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny John, what was it? John Morrison, Johnny Impact, Johnny whomever at this point. Pac smoked TV with a shotgun dropkick. Pac followed up with a moonsault to Johnny TV on the arena floor. Pac landed on his feet. Taya distracted Pac long enough for Johnny to rake Pac in the eyes. Johnny splashed Pac with a standing moonsault. Johnny kissed Taya, and then Johnny returned to the ring. Pac smashed Johnny with a running axe handle, then a flying forearm. Taya distracted Pac long enough for Johnny to blindside Pac with a tope con hero and then a swinging neck breaker. Pac rolled out of the way for a Starship Pain from Johnny TV. Pac climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Taya jumped back on the apron. Taya tried to slap Pac in the face, but Pac blocked it. Johnny charged at Pac. Pac moved out of the way. Johnny inadvertently collided with Taya. Pac applied the brutalizer, and Johnny TV tapped out. Unified World Trios champions, the Bang Bang Gang, appeared on the big screen above the stage and taunted Pac from backstage. Switchblade Jay White, if you stick your nose in the Bang Bang Gang business again, we will permanently put you on the shelf. So next time, make better decisions. So now we're going to go on to Dynamite, and then I am out of here. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend, and I'm going to enjoy the rest. I'm going to just enjoy life because everything is hopefully starting to come up my way. So Dynamite is coming from the Angel Winds Arena in Everett, Washington. We started off right out of the gate. Hot match. Hot fucking match. BBC. BCC. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the fucking British Broadcasting Channel. My bad. IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley and the American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the New Japan World TV Champ Jeff Cobb and the Don Callis family Ring of Honor World TV Champ Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher and Cobb jumped Moxley as he was making his entrance. Danielson sprinted to the ring and sent Fletcher into the barricade. Danielson dropkicked Cobb against the barricade. Mox wrapped his sweatshirt around Kyle's neck and began to pummel him. The bell rang and the match was officially underway. Danielson clubbed Cobb with swift kicks in the corner. Moxley tagged in and hit a running dropkick to Cobb's leg. Danielson tagged back in and tied up Cobb in a figure four. Mox tagged in and dropped an elbow on Cobb while Cobb was still in the figure four. Fletcher entered the fray and chopped Moxley, and Moxley shrugged it off. Moxley returned fire with forearms and chops. Mox chopped on Fletcher's forehead and suplexed Kyle for a near fall. Fletcher was hung up in the ropes, and Danielson jumped off the top rope and dropped a knee across Fletcher's back. Cobb and Fletcher rallied back, assaulting Mox in the corner of the ring. Cobb's charged at Mox, but Mox dodged it, using Cobb's momentum to nail Cobb's with a German suplex. Danielson tagged in and drop kicked Cobb from the top rope. Danielson cracked Cobb around Cobb with round kicks in the corner. Danielson ran off the ropes and wiped out Cobb with an elbow strike. Danielson blistered Cobb's chest with kick. Fletcher grabbed Danielson boot. Cobb charged at Danielson, but Danielson low-bridged Cobb, pulling the rope down, and Cobb tumbled to the arena floor. Danielson connected with a tope suicida onto Fletcher while Cobb moved out of the way. Cobb planted Danielson in the ring. Danielson dodged a standing moonsault from Cobb. Cobb caught Danielson and nailed Danielson high on his neck with a suplex. Moxley and Fletcher entered their respective teams. Fletcher lured Mox in and rocked Mox with a kick. Moxley retaliated with a devastating lariat to Fletcher and then a cutter to Cobb. Fletcher stunned Moxley with a Muchinoko driver and went for the pin on Moxley, but Danielson jumped in to break up the pin attempt. Cobb bull rushed Moxley into the corner. Fletcher spiked Moxley with a tombstone pile driver for a near fall. Cobb hoisted Moxley on his shoulders while Fletcher climbed to the top rope, but Mox escaped and shoved Cobb into Fletcher. Moxley ducked a clothesline from Cobb, but Cobb ate a knee strike from Danielson. Fletcher jumped off the top rope, but Danielson was waiting for him with a roundhouse kick. Moxley rocked Fletcher with a Death Rider. Moxley covered Fletcher and scored the pin for the Blackpool Combat Club. Takeshita jumped into the ring after the match, blindsided Moxley with a German suplex while Cobb and Danielson down in the corner. Takeshita ground pounded Moxley while Cobb throttled Danielson against the turnbuckle. Claudio Castagnoli ran to the ring with a giant crowbar. Cobb, Fletcher, and Takeshita retreated from the ring. I suspect this is far from over between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Diamond Callis family. Not by a long shot. But Jesus Christ, the Blackpool Combat Club is dealing with the Elite and what? Are they fucking kidding me? Seriously, this is no joke. Finish one story and then go to another. It's not that hard. Jesus Christ. TBS champion rated R superstar Adam Copeland was scheduled to call out the House of Black, Malachi Black, to see if Black would respond to the champ's challenge at Double or Nothing. As Copeland was making his entrance to the stage, the House of Black, Brody King and Buddy Matthews blindsided Copeland. Brody and Buddy whipped Copeland down to the ring and into the ring steps. They continued to the assault on Copeland in the ring. Malachi Black slowly walked to the ring while Buddy and Brody held Copeland back. Malachi Black, Adam, I don't understand why you try to keep this up with this facade of what you think you are. Mr. Matthews, take his wedding ring. Oh, Buddy got his marching orders from Mommy. And she knows all the secrets to Mr. Adam Copeland. Black and Matthews propped two steel chairs against the unconscious Copeland in the corner, and it appears Brody choked Copeland, and while Matthews removed Copeland's wedding ring and handed it to Malachi. I got really turned on about this segment. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know where, but I got turned on. Black and Matthews propped two steel chairs against the unconscious Copeland in the corner turnbuckles. It appeared Brody King was going to do a running cannonball into Copeland in the corner when Kyle O'Reilly ran to the ring and wiped out Black and Matthews. Kyle jumped into the ring, but Brody leveled Kyle with a running lariat. Malachi Black cracked Kyle with a thrust kick. The House of Black bashed Copeland from all three sides. That's a new level of violence right there from the House of Black, said Taz. Black walked away with Copeland's wedding ring in his pocket. We need a serious medical attention for Adam Copeland, said Excalibur. Clips were shown from New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgent last Saturday. Eddie Kingston putting his New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight title against the title on the line in a match against Gabe Kidd. Highlights were played of the Elite attacking Kingston after he lost his match. Jack Perry said, "We all have to sacrifice. Eddie, you're about to lose everything." Tonight, Jack Perry, Matthew, and Nicholas Jackson and Okada were backstage. Matthew said it looked like Eddie got bit by the injury bug, said Jack Perry. And that means Anarchy in the Arena will be 4-on-3 unless Team AEW wants to forfeit. Nicholas said it was time to look at their track record. The first week they took out AEW president CEO. The next they took out EVP Kenny Omega. Let's not forget that. And now Eddie Kingston is on the list. Nicholas said, "We run this place. We're the elite, and you're not." Sounds like you're taking some pages out of Papa H's book. And yes, I said it. And remember, people, please, for the love of God, we cannot say anything bad about AEW because it is a crime. It's like murder. Yes, we can't do that. Renee Paquette was backstage with FTR, Dax Hardwood, and Cash Wheeler. Cash, they are not forfeiting Anarchy in the Arena, but but he thinks maybe they found a replacement for Eddie Kingston. AEW Tag Team Championship Eliminator match: Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal cracked Nick with a jumping knee strike. Sydal rolled up Nicholas for a 2 count. Matt Jackson tagged in, as did Christopher Daniels. Danielson pummeled Matthew in the corner with strikes. Sydal grabbed a tag, and he and CD hit Matthew with stereo kicks. Sydal wiped out the Bucks with a double Hurricane Rana. Daniels tagged in and took down Matthew and Nicholas with back elbows. Daniels drilled Nicholas with a Death Valley driver. Daniels connected with a flurry of offense on both Nicholas and Matthew. Daniels has known the Bucks for a very long time, and he outplayed them there, said Tats. I got a few words after this match where Tony Khan can actually zing Matt and Nick Jackson. Christopher Daniels was looking for a best mood sold ever, but Matthew Jackson jumped in with super kick. Sydal entered the ring and knocked Matthew through the ropes with a spinning kick. Matthew avoided the plancha from Sydal and heaved Sydal over the barricade. Nicholas and Christopher Daniels slugged it out in the ring. Daniels staggered Nicholas with a palm strike. Daniels tried for a Rana off the top rope, but Matthew held Nicholas's legs, sending Daniels crashing solo to the mat. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson planted Daniels with a TK driver, and Matthew pinned Daniels for the win. So after the match, I hate to say it, but it seems like the Elite have the momentum going into the Anarchy Arena, said Excalibur. 1,000%, replied Jack Perry, because he was on commentary. Matthew Jackson, cut the music. Christopher Daniels, last week you spoke down to us, and you even put your hands on me. As executive, you should know better. We are trying to clean up the locker room and the office from toxicity. You're trying to screw things up. Are you kidding me? So unfortunately, Christopher Daniels, we've got to let you go. You're fired. But don't worry, we'll get you a sweet severance package, and you'll get a check for the next 30 days. And we've arranged for security to escort you out of the building. Let's raise a toast to the Bucks and Jack Perry as he took a sip of an energy drink and poured the can over Tony Schiavone's head. All right. So we have the EVPs, the Bucks, right? And we have the wrestlers, the Bucks. So guess what? Tony Khan has an executive ownership, right? It's like, all right, so I can't fire them, but I could definitely suspend them, and I could also strip them of the titles because I'm doing it on their talent contract, not their EVP. So they cannot play both sides of the fence. So Tony Khan could say, oh, all right, you could be EVPs all you want. You could be EVPs from Here to Kingdom Come. But we're separating them. We're separating the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nick Jackson, the EVPs, and Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. So this is what we're going to do. You can't delegate. You can't book for yourself. So I am taking personal book over your personal. I will be your personal booker because you can't conflict of interest. So guess what? I'm suspending the Young Bucks as for in-ring competition. That means I am stripping you of the title. We're having a tournament, and that is it. As EVPs, you can't book yourself. So I am taking your spots away. So the only thing you can do is run the company or run the show. You can't wrestle, and that's what you want to do the most. And you want to keep these tag team titles, and those are your babies. You will no longer have them until you fucking goddamn fucking coming down a peg or two. But that's how I would run it. That's how I would run it. Because remember when Stephanie McMahon had two contracts. She had a contract for being an executive, and then she's got a contract for being on TV. So they were able to separate them, and especially with Rhonda. So Tony could do it this way too. Like, all right, you can be EVPs all you want, but I'm taking over your fucking booking. I'm writing for you. As the owner, I get to do that. I'm the head booker, remember? So as of this moment, you are suspended indefinitely until further notice. So that means you are no longer AEW World Tag Team Champions. And there you go. You're off and running. That's if Tony Khan wants to be an on-screen character, which I don't understand why he needs to be on it, because then it's going to take they're going to take a spot away from somebody else. Renee Paquette backstage with AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm and informed her that Mariah May and Luther and Saraya were all banned from ringside during the match with Harley Cameron. Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, thank you for knocking me out last week so I didn't have to listen to another second of your sob story. And at Double or Nothing, everything will be coming up roses for Toni Storm. Malachi Black held Adam Copeland's wedding ring. Black, everything that is holding you back is such a small little trinket. Speaking of holding you back, a barbed wire cage match, I knew there was a part of you that there still exists. And of course, I accept. And if I beat you, and you will bend the knee to the House of Black. And I'm interested in this match alone. I'm interested. Whatever fucking Malachi Black is doing to himself, oh, why do this to me? He's killing me. Zelina, you're fucking lucky. That's all I got to tell you. That's all I got to tell you. You're a fucking lucky bitch. And I say that with the kindness of sincerity. Hook versus Sebastian Wolf. Hook is not in a good mood, said Taz. Well, no fucking shit, Dad. Jericho cracked him with a bat at Dynasty, said Shivani. I feel bad for Hook's opponent tonight, said Taz. Wolf charged at Hook, but Hook sent Wolf for a ride with a T-bone suplex. Hook mauled Wolf with a cross-face strike. Hook applied the red rum, and Wolf tapped out immediately. Hook, this isn't what I'm here for. I'm here for Chris Jericho, my FTW championship. Chris, get out here right now. FTW champion, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, walked down to the ring with Big Bill. Jericho, hey guys, Hook, it's so great to have you back after you essentially hit yourself in the face with a baseball bat. I'm just glad that you called me out here tonight on Dynamite, even if it means sharing the spotlight with somebody. Hook, Chris, I don't want to share the spotlight. I want all the spotlight on you. Getting your ass beat by me for my FTW championship right here tonight. Jericho, would you like to see that, guys? I would too, but unfortunately, this is not a fighting moment. It's a teaching moment. I was about to, when I heard that, I was like, it's a teachable moment. My God, fucking Drew Gulak must be fucking spitting nails right now. And I actually feel sorry for Drew Gulak. Him getting fired for grazing a fucking string. Remember, guys, don't ever be so close to a woman that you accidentally graze her, because you could be charged with sexual harassment. Fuck Ronda Rousey. She fucking says he accidentally touched her fucking goddamn drawstring. Okay. So to take that mountain out of a molehill, she needed to say, oh, he was a bully and he was this and he was that. The poor guy didn't get a chance to fucking defend himself, not whatsoever. Ronda talked, he got punished. Fuck Ronda Rousey. And what I want to teach you, Hook, is it's a world where the world doesn't revolve around you. You need to be less selfish like me. This is for the world title. It's not for the Hook title. When you lose a title, you have to work your way back up again. That is why Saturday on Collision, you and a few others are going to have a qualifying match. If you can win this match, then maybe you'll get a chance to face me again for the FTW Championship. Does that sound good? Hook, yeah. You know what else sounds good? Hook popped Jericho in the head with the microphone and then began striking Jericho in the corner turnbuckles. Big Bill grabbed Hook from behind long enough for Jericho to cheap shot Hook. Shibata sprinted to the ring and Jericho retreated. Shibata pump kicked Big Bill, knocking Big Bill out of the ring. There was a delayed reaction with Big Bill. Hook should have never gotten that much offense on Jericho. What the fuck? AEW World Championship Eliminator match. This was a waste of time. Swerve Strickland versus the Machine Brian Cage. Oh, I miss Machine Brian Cage. This is not the Machine. This is the this is not the Machine. It's the fucked up defected Machine. Cage batted Strickland in the corner. Swerve attempted a tope suicida, but Cage blocked it. Swerve found his footing on the apron and stomped down on Cage's arm. Brian Cage yanked Swerve into the steel ring post. Swerve fired back with a flatliner on Cage, but Cage kicked out at the count of 1. Cage cracked Swerve with a backbreaker. Cage back swerved into the corner. Cage press slammed Swerve into the corner. Brian Cage suplexed Swerve from the outside of the ring into the ring. Swerve used his quickness to kick Cage with a boot. Swerve blasted Cage with a brainbuster for a near fall. Swerve intercepted Cage knee strike. Cage tried to hook Swerve with a weapon X, but Swerve escaped. Cage powerbombed Swerve into the corner for a near fall. Swerve headbutted Cage underneath the draw, knocking Cage onto the apron. Swerve jumped over the top and stomped both of his feet into the chest of Brian Cage. Swerve connected with a 450 splash for a near fall. Cage connected with 2 consecutive bombs on Swerve. Cage looked for a drill claw, but Swerve escaped. Cage rocked Swerve with a thrust kick. Swerve snapped Cage's arm back and stomped on it. Swerve followed up with a house claw kick and pinned Cage. What a win for the champ. What a win. And said Tony Schiavone. After the match, Swerve pulled some steel chairs out from beneath the ring. Swerve walloped Cage in the shoulder with one of the chairs. Christian Cage music began to play. Christian Cage walked out onto the ramp with Mother Wayne. which she gives me really creepy vibes. Really, seriously, like she should not be there. It's like she's a fish out of water. She has no idea what the hell she's doing. It's like she's standing there, like not even like getting into her character. She's just standing there, like, I am a robot. She looks like fucking Charlotte Flair before the fucking goddamn plastic surgery. Oh, I'm going to hell. Oh, I am going to hell. Oh no, I am going to serious hell. But I don't care. Nick Wayne blindsided Swerve with a low blow and from behind. Killswitch jumped into the ring and leveled Swerve with a pump kick. Nick Wayne had an 8x10 family photo of Swerve's family. Nick Wayne smashed the family portrait over the head of Swerve, busting Swerve wide open. Christian Cage, you embarrassed my son Nick Wayne, when you attacked him at the gym at his home right down the street here last year. You embarrassed my son, and now I'm forced to embarrass you. Do you think your daughter's proud? Maybe we should ask if she's proud of her absentee father. Christian smeared the family photo across Swerve's bloody forehead. Christian Cage, tonight I took your blood. Swerve, in 2 weeks, a double or nothing, I take your world heavyweight championship. Renee Paquette was backstage with Hook and Shibata. Renee asked Hook if it felt like numbers were stacked against him. Hook, the odds couldn't mean less to me. Whomever I have to get my hands on Jericho, I will beat. Shibata, be a smartphone translator, even me. Hook, what do you mean? Shibata, I want another shot at Jericho too. Hook, push comes to shove. Hook versus Shibata to get their hands on Jericho, that's fine by me. Samoa Joe. Oh, Samoa Joe, another guy. Why? Oh my God, oh my God, the people who are there right now. Cody Rhodes versus fucking Samoa Joe. Fuck. LA Knight versus Samoa Joe. Oh my God. I'll take another AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Those matches I could go on for days. Because we always know where Wendy is. Oy, oy, oy. My nudge. Really? Samoa Joe interrupted. Samoa Joe, really? What is this? Who are you? It wasn't too long ago I thought you were something special. But week after week, you're falling into the same trap. And now Jericho has got you at your own man's neck. Sad. If you two people stop playing yourselves, you might actually be dangerous around here. Hook, I'll fight you. Joe. Grudge match. AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm versus Harley Cameron. Toni used the shoulder tackle and inside headlock takeover on Harley. Toni ground and pound Cameron with a says press and followed up with a hip attack. Serena Deeb walked onto the ramp and waved at Storm. While the champ was distracted, Harley rammed Toni's head into the edge of the ring. Toni cracked Cameron with a backstabber. Toni spiked Cameron with a DDT and then a fisherman suplex for a near fall on Cameron. Toni planted Cameron with a sky high for a near fall. Toni rocked Cameron with a Storm Zero and scored the pin. Oh boy. International champion Roderick Strong was backstage, joined by Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Mike Bennett and Mac Tavern, and the Wardlow to have a face-off with Will Ospreay. Wardlow, I feel so bad. Hey, Wardlow, you'll be in Connecticut before you know it. You'll be sitting pretty. You'll be talking to Papa H. You'll be talking to Paul. You'll probably be in Paul Heyman's. You'll be in the bosom of Papa H. And it wouldn't kill you being in the bosom of Stephanie McMahon. Just saying. It was agreed upon ahead of time that there will be no physicality tonight. Osprey, I feel like the world's eyes are upon me, but I hate that you're so uncomfortable around me. And that championship. It's either because I lunged at you, these guys will grab me, or it's because I retired the Tiger Driver 91. Why are you playing these mind games that you want me to unretire this move? Because you're playing them piss poor. I've done that move to people I love and people I respect, but I don't respect you, and you've never respect me, bruv. You've always looked down on me, so in turn, I got none for you. Roderick, that's the smartest thing you ever said. I never had respect for you. The fact is that you're so talented in the ring, but you're such an idiot outside the ring. Will you're still the little child that you've been and you'll always be. You don't deserve this title. I overcame a neck injury that almost took me out, but I don't quit. I don't care who anyone else thinks you are. I know who you are. You're a fraud, a child. At Double or Nothing, I end this. Osprey, I'm going to take the one thing that makes you super important, and at Double or Nothing, I show the world why I am on another level. Yeah, Roderick, please shine that title up really nice. Shine that title up really nice because you're going to be giving it to Mr. Osprey. TBS Championship contract signing for AEW Double or Nothing. TBS champion Willow Nightingale and the CEO Mercedes Moné were introduced by Renee Paquette. Willow accompanied to the ring by Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Willow and Mercedes sat across from one another on the opposite sides of the table. Willow, so CEO, I do respect you, and I really mean that. I respect everything you've done in your career, but I need to know, do you respect the TBS Championship? It's a championship that celebrates the legacy of professional wrestling, that celebrates 50 years of professional wrestling on this channel. A legacy that's built on fighting on hard work, dedication, and overcoming obstacles. And now I'm the face of TBS. My smile is my strength, and professional wrestling is just that. And this title is what matters to me. So I'm not going to just let you walk into AEW and take that away. Not now, not at Double or Nothing, not ever. Mercedes. Now, Willow, you want to talk about legacy to me? No, Monet changes everything, not just the catchphrase. In fact, back in 2013, when you were training, I was changing the industry forever. I was kicking down doors, breaking glass. You wouldn't be here without me. I respect you. I think you're a great champion, but there's a difference between being a great and being the greatest of all time. Now let's talk about the face of TBS. You should be looking at the new face of TBS. I know you see me on the red carpet sitting courtside because that's what a CEO does. Or at Double or Nothing does. At Double or Nothing, now that I'm healthy, you losing will be the best part of that. Everything happened to you. My legacy is all about winning. Willow, you keep believing that because the last time we wrestled, I walked away a champion, and you didn't walk out at all. Mercedes slapped Mercedes in the face. Mercedes tried to swing at the TBS championship at Willow, but Willow ducked it. Willow put Mercedes through a table with a doctor bomb. Main event, AEW Continental Championship match. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. That took me a fucking year and a day to fucking pronounce when I started finding out who Kazuchika Okada was. Versus Dax Hardwood. Dax was looking for a sharpshooter, but Okada quickly got himself out of bounds. Okada sent Dax shoulder first into the steel ring post. Hardwood dazed Okada with his spine buster. Okada dropkicked Dax off the turnbuckle, knocking Dax to the arena floor. Okada charged at Dax with a high boot to the head. Okada drilled Dax with a draping DDT off the barricade onto the arena floor. Thank you, Cody. Randy Orton. That'll knock out a normal man, said Taz. Dax ducked a rainmaker and rallied back with 2 German suplexes. Dax followed up with a release dragon suplex on Okada. Dax chopped Okada and blocked a dropkick. Okada kicked up Dax. Okada nailed Dax with a neck breaker for a near fall. Dax suplexed Okada from the top rope. Champion on the challenger crashing down. Dax and Okada headbutted one another. Dax clubbed Okada with a forearm. Dax dropped Okada with a discus lariat. Dax was looking for a sharpshooter again, but Okada pushed his way out of it. Dax reversed a tombstone piledriver from Okada and spiked Okada with one of his own for a near fall on the champ. Dax jumped over the top rope looking for a diving headbutt, but Okada rolled out of the way in the nick of time. Harwood ducked the Rainmaker, countered with a sharpshooter. Okada reached the bottom rope and managed to force the break. Okada grabbed his belt, looking to leave, but Dax caught him and tossed Okada back into the ring. Okada threw the belt. The referee went to retrieve it. Okada hit Dax with a low blow. Okada smashed Dax with a Rainmaker and pinned Dax. Wow, the ref never saw it. Very smart, effective, said Taz. Jack Perry, Nicholas, and Matt Jackson jumped into the ring and swarmed Dax Harwood after the bell. Cash Wheeler and Brian Danielson sprinted to the ring, but the odds were against them. Darby Allin music began to play. Darby Allin jumped into the ring and whacked Jack Perry with his skateboard. The Elite and Team AEW brawled against one another. It's official. Darby Allin is the 4th member for Team AEW at Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing. What an incredible finish to Dynamite. Unbelievable, said Excalibur. All right. So, special programming note. For 3 straight hours, AEW action on Saturday. So, there's no Rampage tomorrow. It will be for 3 hours on TNT on Saturday. And they're going to the Motor Center in Portland, Oregon. And then right back next week, they will be in the Mechanics Bank Arena in Bakersfield, California. And that will be the end of it. All right? Please do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, I upload a video or do a short, you'll know about it. Please do me a favor also. Follow me on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, and Threads, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, TikTok, Cameo, and Snapchat at Real Mel'S Mat Chat. Please do me a favor. Also, go check out the lovely people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website. Also, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Please go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. And go check out what's going down in HOG, House of Glory. They're doing some amazing things over there. So go check them out on social media and their website for all their upcoming events that are coming up for this month and beyond. Please go check out the content on my channel, which has the review of Backlash. I would have done Dynasty, but my son was home and I really couldn't get to it because he really needed me. So sorry, family over wrestling all the time. Everything's over family. Everything comes first. Nothing. Wait a second. Family always comes first. Everything comes second. Everything else comes second. So I want everybody to have a great weekend. I'm not 100% sure what's going on for next week. I got to figure that out. I believe I may do something maybe Tuesday or Wednesday to just get out like something for that episode 342. If not, preview and predictions right after SmackDown on Friday next week. So there's a lot going on. We have next weekend, we have King and Queen in the Ring and Double or Nothing. We're going to be busy. We're going to be busy, and I love it that way. So I want everybody to have a great weekend, and I will see you all sometime next week. I love you all. Have a great evening. Bye.